I'll do time for another beer review. For this one, we're off to E1 Brew Co out of London, and IPA 5% coming in a 440ml can. I picked this one up in Home Bargains. Never heard of the brewery. It says on the back, full-bodied and smooth. This modern IPA is bursting with tropical and citrus fruit notes, courtesy of a harmonious blend of English and US hops, Target, Centennial, Amarillo, and Chinook. And the ingredients are water, malted barley, wheat, oats, glucose syrup and hops. Never heard of them. It says on here, in 2012, E1 Brew Co was a loose conversation between friends wanting to create a British beer with a difference. It was later brought to life in the heart of East London, driven by a mission to find the best in contemporary taste and Shoreditch style, whilst upholding the traditional British values of honesty, inclusivity and individuality. Our package may look plain, but beneath its understated shell is a beer that evokes what it means to be British. I had a look on the website. They do a Pilsner and they also do a CBD lager, but like I say, never heard of them. Picked up Home Bargains and it was £1, so really cheap. Good size can for £1, can't go wrong. Let's see what we get. So a bit of a knobhead pour, as you would expect from me. Amber colour, very vigorous carbonation going up, lots of clarity through it, and real, looks quite a firm white head. Let's get the nose. There's a slight pininess, but that's about it, and a hint of orange. But not a lot going on the nose, but there is a big massive white head on it off my knobhead paw, so that might be something to do with it, but we'll dive in and see what we get. So, I know it was saying it was a blend of English and American hops, but it has a real taste of an English IPA as opposed to an American IPA. There is a dry bit to finish, and I'm getting a hint of caramel. There's a slight orange. It's alright. I think it's quite a steady beer, and for £1, I think it's an absolute steal. This beer, in comparison to, say, a lot of the beers that are in Aldi, for instance, this beer is holding its own against a lot of their beers. I'm not going to say this is a spectacular beer, but for £1, it's certainly worth £1. Quite sessionable. It reminds me a little bit of the Green King IPA that they do on draft in the bars. Not the cask, the one that's called, I can't remember what it's called, something like East Coast or something they call it, or American IPA or something. But it has a little bit of that. It's a good beer if somebody who's just dipping the toes into craft beer. It's not overly, it's not got a big flavour profile, it's not overly big hoppy flavours, and yeah, I think it's one as a nice starter for people if they're getting dipping the toes into the water. So I'm going to recommend it to folk who are just new to craft beer. If you've drank a lot of craft beer, you might think it's a bit bland and a bit safe, but if I was comparing this to, say, Brewdog Pale Ale or something, or an indie, which were designed to be beers for starter beers for people dipping the toes into craft beer, I think it's better than those two. So, yeah, I think it, like I say, a decent beer for people who are just getting new to it. So that is E1 Brew Co's IPA. I'll add it to my home bargains playlist where you can see my other home bargain beers that I've had from there. So thanks for watching and on to the next one. Cheers.